Think of one more church that has an off-site service in our Methodist Church, and that is Great Methodist Church. They have an off-site service at AMKMC. But other than that, most of the other churches, when they have a congregation outside worship, it's a preaching point. You know what's a preaching point? A preaching point starts because they have an intention to form it to be a local church later on. Alright? So there are many churches who have preaching point, and actually, AMKMC Church is the result of one of those endeavors from Wesley, Pastor. Okay, Wesley is one of the principal founders. Who else can you remember? Huh? Anybody remember the history? I know Wesley is one of the, okay, never mind. Okay. Whatever the case, we have 5 more after that. Okay. But I want to be very clear that the fourth service that we have in Bishan, that we're going to do it's not a preaching point. We're not intending to birth a church down there. But this is an extension of us. Okay? And so this is something that's unique to us also. Now, you may think of others as well, but the point that I was trying to stress about is this. We must understand our uniqueness. Because if we don't understand our uniqueness, that is why from time to time in the various services, we find that we fight with one another. Okay? And then the important thing here is to understand that we want to develop leaders here. We need leaders, not just younger leaders, but we need leaders with the church and kingdom mentality, and not a from and a wealth mentality. You know, long ago when our church was just about 200, 300, it's a family thing. You know, when family is small, things can be controlled quite easily. I mean, you don't have to have too many diversity in something, and you decide things, and then things will just go on very smoothly. But when a church grows larger than 500 or more, it's not easy. You have to embrace what it is diversity. Alright? So the challenge for some of us here is, especially for those of us who have grown up, with the small church kind of traditional setting, we need to understand that if we want to do church in our country, we can't do that. We can't do that anymore. Alright? But that doesn't mean we cannot do that. We have to be creative. But the point is this, that we need leaders that think the church as a whole, not just in segments. Not just the youth ministry, not just the cell ministry or the cell itself, not just the witness and evangelism itself, but we need to raise the leaders with a helicopter view of everything. And that is important because why? And the implication is this, that when you are a leader, when you decide something, remember, you don't just decide for that particular segment. You are also to think of the overall, what is the impact be for the overall church impact itself. When you get married, it's the same principle. When you are a single person, you can make any decision you want. You go any place, you want to eat supper, whatever, get carry on, make a holiday, carry on. Nobody's going to stop you. But once you get married, you cannot live as a single person. You cannot suka-suka, I want to go out this time, I want to see my best friend here, probably on Sunday at 12 o'clock, and then see your wife over at home. You can't do that kind of thing. You've got to think of that person. Whatever decision you make has an impact on that person. And that is the reason why we need to raise leaders that understand this. Okay, so I hope that when you look around here, alright, the leaders that you're going to train, the leaders that you're going to mentor, must have this mentality, must have this attitude, a kingdom attitude, a church attitude, and understand everything. That we are not just deciding on a certain thing down here just by ourselves, but it has to be considered with the overall impact of the church. And sometimes it means sacrificing our own comfort zone. That is maybe where we're so excited to do it, but because we need an overall church now ready, maybe our spouse is not ready, then he's going back. Then he's taking a step back first and wait for the right time. Now this is important. Because if we have all these like that who live with a single person, and that's where we have a problem with children, then we come with our own personal agenda, and then we come to LC, we fight. We fight with others because people don't think to see the way the problem is with us because we're not trying to think church. If we try to think church, I think one of the things is it will cause us to step back because we also try to think, the principle of loving one another. Part of loving one another is to look into the interests of others. And that is very, very important. Alright? Now, I find it, particularly what happens is, I think our younger people need that much, much more. I realize that it's not just for children who are Methodist churches. Okay? Most churches, when pastors come together, it seems that the youth always have this problem because the youth always think that the world is their oyster. You know, they think they're like China. Years before, China think that, you know, they are the world. But that's you. When you go to that kind of thing, you know, you always go through this kind of stuff, and you think the whole world revolves around you. You know, that everything must revolve around you. But you forget, as you grow up, okay, things are not the way it is, because you realize that the world is much larger than you. Right? So one of the things that when we want to train up young leaders, we have to help them understand this. Train them to think in church terms. Train them to understand and appreciate the variation we have, what is so unique about our culture down here. Okay? And then the other thing here is this, that I think one of the ways that we can help, you know, to really cherish this commitment to our spouse is that, you know, we all